Moving on, China has begun testing a cutting-edge sixth-generation fighter jet capable of operating in space. This advanced aircraft is designed as an integrated space air fighter with the ability to reach supersonic speeds.
For decades, humanity has dreamed of crossing the world faster than ever before. From the legendary Concord to NASA's X-planes, the race for speed never truly ended. It only went quiet.
Every country aiming for the top is hungrily aiming at the US. China, Russia, North Korea. None is left out.
But now, that silence has been shattered. China's Air Force believes they've cracked one of aviation's most impossible challenges: how to safely land a hypersonic aircraft. And if they're right, this could change everything we know about air travel.
What is hypersonic technology, and why are the Chinese better at it than we are?
Hypersonics is going really fast, so probably about 4,000 miles an hour.
The dream of point-to-space travel, the project, officially known as the Nanchang No-1, is more than just a plane. It's a glimpse into the future of transportation. Imagine boarding a sleek white jet with a handful of passengers, strapping in as engines roar beneath you. Instead of climbing to 35,000 feet, you blast beyond the atmosphere, soaring on the edge of space. You spend an hour skimming the planet's curvature before descending half a world away. This is what scientists call point-to-space travel, a revolutionary idea, turning Earth itself into one interconnected hub. For most of us, that sounds like science fiction. But for China, it's fast becoming science fact. Nanchang No-1, China's crown jewel. When Beijing first announced the Nanchang No-1, aviation circles around the world took notice. The aircraft's name comes from the city where it was born, Nanchang, the heart of China's growing aerospace industry. Its claim? To reach Mach 6, that's 6 times faster than the speed of sound, roughly 4,600 miles per hour, or 7,400 kilometers per hour. At that speed, a flight from New York to London, usually 7 hours, would take less than 60 minutes. Beijing to Sydney, about the length of a movie. But what's truly remarkable isn't just its speed, it's how it achieves it. The engine that defies physics, the Nanchang No-1, runs on a propulsion system so advanced that even experts call it borderline impossible. It's called the Mutter engine, short for multi-ducted twin turbine ejector, or AMJET. To understand what that means, picture this. A normal jet engine uses turbines and fans to pull in air and burn fuel, but at hypersonic speeds, those moving parts would literally melt. So China's engineers designed something different, a system that switches between 3 kinds of engines in one: turbofan for takeoff, rocket for acceleration, and ramjet/scramjet for cruising at blistering speeds. Each phase blends seamlessly into the next, allowing the aircraft to sprint through the sky like a bullet through glass. The key lies in the transition, a moment when most experimental aircraft fail: too much heat, and the jet disintegrates. Too little thrust, and it falls from the sky. For years, engineers struggled to find the balance, but China believes they've done it. From blueprint to breakthrough, the project began in 2019 under the leadership of Yin Zhong, a senior scientist at the Aero Engine Corporation of China. Yin and his team spent years simulating airflow, heat, and stress at hypersonic speeds using powerful supercomputers. They started small, with an unmanned prototype weighing just 500 kilograms. When that test craft hit hypersonic velocity in a lab trial, it confirmed what the team had only dreamed about. The theory worked. By 2025, the first operational version of the Nanchang No-1 is expected to take flight. A 10-seat aircraft designed for ultra-fast business or luxury travel. Yin Zhong called it a breakthrough not just in technology, but in how humanity moves. He believes hypersonic travel could reshape civilization, shrinking our planet into a network of cities connected by minutes, not hours. Beyond Concord half a century ago, the Concord redefined what it meant to fly fast. At Mach 2, it was twice the speed of sound, and for a moment, It seemed the future had arrived, but by 2003, the Concord was grounded. Too expensive, too loud, too limited. Now, China is trying to finish what Concord started. The Nanchang No-1 isn't just faster, it's 3 times faster, but it also represents something more profound: the return of ambition to the skies. While most nations focused on improving comfort and efficiency, China aimed straight for the edge of the atmosphere, and in doing so, they reignited the forgotten dream of supersonic civilization. The science of speed flying at Mach 6 isn't just about power, it's about survival. At such velocity, air becomes a weapon. The friction between the jet and the atmosphere can reach temperatures over 2,500 degrees Celsius, hotter than molten metal. Every surface of the aircraft, from its nose to its tail, must endure that heat without melting. For this, China developed new materials called ceramic matrix composites, engineered to resist both heat and stress. These materials are lighter than steel, stronger than titanium, and can survive where traditional metals fail. Even the shape of the aircraft has to be perfect, designed not only to slice through the air, but to control how it heats. Too sharp, and it burns. Too blunt, and it slows down. It's a delicate dance between aerodynamics and annihilation. How do you land a hypersonic jet? That's the question that puzzled engineers for years. A hypersonic aircraft doesn't behave like a normal jet. It can't just slow down and glide to a runway. The air around it is still a fiery storm. China claims to have finally solved this. Their approach uses a multi-phase re-entry sequence, similar to what spacecraft use. As the jet approaches its destination, it gradually dips back into denser air, switching engines again from ramjet to turbofan. Computer-guided flaps adjust automatically, reducing speed in stages. By the time it reaches the runway, the aircraft moves no faster than a commercial plane. It's part rocket science, part miracle of engineering. If this system works reliably, it could become the blueprint for all future hypersonic travel. A nation's silent ambition. China's push into hypersonic aviation isn't just about prestige, it's about power. Owning the skies at these speeds means controlling the next era of global transport. Ability to travel anywhere on Earth in under 2 hours could reshape economics, diplomacy, and even warfare. Cargo, leaders, and even critical aid could reach anywhere almost instantly. That's why this isn't just an airplane, it's a statement. Inside the engineering challenge, behind the glossy concept art, lies a battlefield of technical nightmares. Keeping a jet stable at Mach 6 is like balancing a knife on a hurricane. At those speeds, the smallest miscalculation, a vibration, a material flaw, can trigger catastrophic failure. The team spent years refining every bolt and curve. Cooling systems run through the aircraft's skin like veins, circulating cryogenic fuel to absorb heat. Sensors across the body track temperature and stress in real time, every second. The onboard AI makes thousands of micro adjustments to keep the jet alive. Even the cockpit had to be reinvented. At hypersonic speeds, pilots can't rely on normal controls. Everything must be automated. The human role becomes more like a conductor, overseeing a symphony of machines. The promise of tomorrow if China succeeds. Nanchang No-1 could usher in a new era, the dawn of commercial hypersonic flight. Imagine global business meetings where executives breakfast in Shanghai and lunch in New York. Imagine tourism that connects continents in a heartbeat. A world where distance simply doesn't matter anymore. But for now, that dream still hangs in the air, fragile, uncertain, and blazing with potential. The cost of speed. Yet behind every technological triumph, there's a price. The development of Nanchang No-1 has cost billions. The materials, the research, the testing, all require unprecedented investment. And even if it flies perfectly, ticket prices could reach $100,000 per passenger. It's the price of progress, at least in its early days. But so was the automobile, the telephone, and the airplane itself. What seems unreachable today may become ordinary. Tomorrow. Environmental and safety questions flying at the edge of space also raises new concerns. The engines burn enormous amounts of fuel, and the high-altitude emissions could harm the ozone layer. Scientists are studying the environmental effects, but answers are scarce. Then there's safety. At Mach 6, there are no second chances. A mechanical failure, a software glitch, even a small miscalculation could spell disaster. That's why China's engineers are focusing not only on speed, but reliability. They aim to make the Nanchang No-1 as safe as any modern jetliner, a goal as ambitious as its speed. The race against time, though this story centers on China, the rest of the world is watching. In secret labs and wind tunnels across the planet, rival engineers are taking notes and taking aim. But for now, the Nanchang No-1 stands alone. The first true glimpse of a new age of flight. The future takes off. For thousands of years, humans have looked up at the sky and dreamed of going faster, farther, higher, from wings of wood and canvas to machines that dance on the edge of space. Our story has always been about reaching beyond limits. The Nanchang No-1 is not just another aircraft. It's a symbol of that eternal drive to conquer speed, to defy distance, and to reshape the map of the world. Maybe one day we'll look back and realize this was the moment the world became truly connected. Because when China's hypersonic jet finally takes flight, the future of travel will never be the same again. What do you think about this breakthrough? Could hypersonic flight really change our world, or will it burn out before it begins? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, because the sky is no longer the limit.